Welcome back to my channel, seriously. Today, another fun topic. I want to talk about the power of our words. I know for me, as a young kid, my parents were very big sticklers on the words that we chose that could come out of our mouths. We were not allowed to call each other dummies, losers, none of that, right? Nerds, nope. We couldn't say anything that had a negative context to it at all. And as a kid, we thought it was stupid. We wanted to say these things because I won and you lost, and so I was gonna call you a loser. But Mama Deb did not allow us to do that. And as we got older, she kept reminding us of a verse that stuck in my head to this day. And that verse is Proverbs. It's in Proverbs, Proverbs 18:21. And it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it and indulge in it will eat its fruits and bear the consequences of their words." That's a pretty heavy verse, right? The power of death and life lie in your tongue. That's crazy. We throw around words all the time, right? Without even thinking anything of them. But whether you believe it biblically or if you look at scientific evidence, there are studies that show that your words have power, right? I don't know about you, but I've heard of a study of two plants, okay? They both are the exact same. Plants get the same water, they get the same soil, they get the same sunlight. In this study, you look at one plant, you tell them it's beautiful, you're flourishing, you're wonderful, you speak all these life over it. And then you look at the other plant and you say you're dead, you're ugly, you're gross, and that plant actually withers away and dies. Even though it's getting food, it's getting sunlight, it has soil. And that's a really crazy thing. So ask yourself, what parts of your life are you speaking life over? And what parts of life are you speaking death over? Are there areas in your life that are starting to fade away, they're starting to die? I would encourage you to start speaking life over it and see what happens. So many other places in the Bible tell us about our mouths, right? Proverbs actually has 17 other verses that I have found that talk about your tongue, talk about your words. That must mean it's a very important subject. We then go to the New Testament, we see it all the time. In James, we're told that our tongue is like a rudder of a ship. Or in a horse, when you put the bit in the mouth, it actually tells us that it can control the path and the direction of the ship or the horse. So in James 3, starting in verse 3, it says, "Now if we put bits into the horses' mouths to make them obey us, we guide their whole body as well. And look at ships. Even though they are so large and driven by strong winds, they are still directed by a very small rudder wherever the impulse of the helmsman determines. In the same sense, the tongue is the small part of the body, and yet it boasts of great things. See by comparison how great a forest is set on fire by a small spark." Verse 6, the beginning of verse 6 says, "The tongue is a fire." That's so heavy, but James is telling us that our tongue has so much power. And we know that words can direct the way that your life goes. Think about if you've ever had someone in your life in both areas who have spoke negatively over you and has just said mean and harmful things that have actually made you pull back. But think of a person who has spoke life over you, told you you can do it, and they believe in you and that you're amazing. And that gives you a sense of confidence. And so in a world that throws around words, throws around hashtags, puts captions and comments on anything they can, are you building life? Are you bringing life into the picture? Psalms 34:13 and 14 touches on this too. It says, "Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it." David is telling us to keep our tongue away from evil. It can be so easy to gossip. It can be so easy to say a negative thing about someone who either hurt your feelings or they're the most popular girl in school and they made fun of you, whatever it might be. Keep yourself away from speaking evil over them. I know that's your flesh telling you you want to, but if you can hold your tongue back and speak life over them, I promise you will see fruit in that relationship. You will see fruit over their lives and over your life. And the last verse that I really want to touch on is in Ephesians. And so it's Ephesians 4:29. And it says, "Do not let unwholesome, which is foul, profane, worthless, vulgar words ever come out of your mouth, but only such speech as is good for building up others according to the need and the occasion, so that it will be a blessing to those who hear you speak." Right there, Paul tells us no unwholesome talk. It can be easy, you stub your toe, you might want to say a couple words. Been there, we've all done it, we've made mistakes. But as you become aware of it, it's so much better in every situation to choose words of life. substitute some of the words that you might end up saying if you accidentally stub your toe or you're very, very frustrated because you didn't get the grade you wanted to on your test. Come up with a funny word. I know I had to do that in high school. People made fun of me all the time for the words that I used, but it helped me from saying vulgar. It helped me from saying things that were worthless and words that did not need to come out of my mouth. And so we know that we're impacted by words, right? From the plant study, from a biblical approach, we know that words have power. And so I want to encourage you guys today, in any area of your life, speak life over it, okay? If you're struggling in places, find verses that help you attack the situation you're in, but with words of wisdom and words of encouragement, okay? Let's build each other up. Let's not tear each other down. We have too many people in the world easily throwing around comments that hurt, easily throwing around comments that pierce and strike down people. But it's time to compliment. It is time to speak blessings over people so that they can get encouraged when they hear you talk, right? No one wants to be that person when they leave the room to say, oh, they're such a Debbie Downer, or oh, they're really negative. Try to take the optimistic approach. Try to talk and say things that will leave people feeling uplifted and blessed. Guys, words are so important, and so today I just want to say, be blessed, be equipped, and go be the hands and feet of Jesus as we further the kingdom of God. All right, guys, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and seriously, we'll catch you next time.